Good afternoon, class 11th. Today we once again continue with our 8th chapter in biology of cell, the unit of life. And if you remember, children, that in the last video 4, children, we had studied about the cell membrane, its detailed characteristics, the theories of membrane models also we did. First we saw the unit membrane concept, then the fluid mosaic model. We had studied about membranes, wherein Dennelly had explained about the tri-lipid layer, about the fluid mosaic model. We also saw the contrast or difference between the above two models of plasma membrane, that is between the unit membrane concept and the fluid mosaic concept. We saw the difference between the two. And in the present video 5, we continue with the study of experiment to show the fluidity of membranes. And to understand the fluidity of membranes, let us look at this page and at this diagram, figure 11, to understand it. And we see that this fluidity of the membrane, this can be demonstrated in a laboratory. As we can see here, there are two different cells. Say the mouse cell, this one, and the human cell, this one. They are labeled, both the cells are labeled, and one is with a red fluorescent. One of them is labeled with a red fluorescent, and the other one with the green fluorescent, as you can see here. And the green fluorescent antibodies dyes, and then they are fused, both of these with the red fluorescent dyes and the green fluorescent dyes. These both are fused together and examined under the microscope. One half of the fused cell, that is a heterokaryon. Here we see a heterokaryon is formed. So one half of the fused cell, heterokaryon, was green, and the other half was found to be red. Now if the fused cell is kept at 37 degrees Celsius, which we see here, the fused cell is kept at 37 degrees Celsius, after some time the red and green antibodies got thoroughly mixed up. And this could happen only if the lipid layer is fluid and the labeled proteins could move about it. So we see that the labeled proteins, they could move about the fluid lipid layer. However, if the fused cells are kept immediately at 0 degrees Celsius, so there is no mixing of color, as lipids, they solidify at low temperatures. So the fluidity of the lipid layer can be restored again if the temperature is again raised to 37 degrees Celsius, as indicated by the mixing of colors. So this shows the fluidity of the membrane, of the lipid membrane, and the flowing of the protein particles, or flowing of the proteins across it. Then let us also study about the functions of the plasma membrane. The functions of the plasma membrane, it delimits the protoplasm from the environment. It keeps the protoplasm within the cell, and the plasma membrane It provides a selective pathway for transport of substances into and outside the cell. It controls the cell form, cell activity, and the cellular semi-permeability reabsorption, excretion outside the cell, and secretion in the cell. Many metabolic processes occur within the components of intracellular membrane system. Now we will study some of these one by one, like transport. In transport, we see that the inflow of materials into the cytoplasm through plasma membrane, it occurs mainly by osmosis and endocytosis, exocytosis, and passive and active transport. Now we will begin to see all these one by one. In osmosis, we see that osmosis is the diffusion of water molecules through the plasma membrane from their low solute concentration to a region of high solute concentration. The plasma membrane acts as a semi-permeable membrane, allowing the movement of water molecules in and out. Movement of water from the region of their higher concentration to the region of the lower concentration tends to equalize the solute concentration on the two sides of the cell membrane. Now let us look at some of the figures here and some of the examples to understand these one by one. Now first of all, we have the study of endosmosis. What is endosmosis? When the cell is placed in a hypertonic solution, this is the cell and it has been placed in a hypotonic solution. What is a hypotonic solution, children? It is a solution whose osmotic potential is lower than that of the cell sap, and the water enters the cell from outside. This inward movement of water into the cell is known as endosmosis. In animal cells, children, the endosmosis may cause the rupture of the cell, but in plant cells, the rupture due to endosmosis does not take place because of the rigid cell wall. Then we see that what is exosmosis. Let us see the next one in the next diagram. What is exosmosis? When the cell is placed in a hypertonic solution. Now this is a hypertonic solution, and we see that is the solution whose osmotic potential is higher than that of the cell sap filled inside the cell. The outward movement of water takes place from the cell, and thus exosmosis takes place, and we see the shrinkage of the cell here. So this shows exosmosis. In the isotonic solution, that is a solution having the same osmotic potential as the cell sap. Outside in the water, the concentration or the osmotic potential is the same as it is inside the cell sap. So the cell will neither gain nor lose water, but it will remain the same. There would be no change in the pressure. Then we see there is another term known as endocytosis. It is the process by which a cell activity takes materials inside it, as we can see here, depending on the nature of the substance taken. Endocytosis is of two types. Pinocytosis, where cell drinking is there. That means the cell drinks fluids or water. And phagocytosis, that means cell is eating or it takes solid food inside. Both active mechanisms, they require energy to do pinocytosis and phagocytosis. Now in pinocytosis, it is the intake of fluid material. So we see that the fluid droplet is here near the plasma membrane of the cell. So it is the intake of fluid material into the cell by the formation of pinocytic vesicle. You see here is the formation of pinocytic vesicle or the pinosome. The invagination occurs. We see this invagination in the plasma membrane occurs at a point in the plasma membrane near the fluid source, and a small pocket-like structure is formed. You can see this pocket-like structure. The fluid is then transported inside the cell via this invagination of the plasma membrane, and we see in such a way that it changes into a vesicle, which you can see in figure D of figure 14, that finally the pinosome or the vesicle is formed, which is released into the cytoplasm. The pinosomes are attached to lysosomes, which digest it by hydrolytic enzymes to merge with the cytoplasmic contents. We see that there is an example of pinocytosis where transport of undigested flat globules and protein molecules to the cells of the intestine takes place. Then we see what is phagocytosis. Let us look at this page and look at what phagocytosis is. In phagocytosis, it is an ingestion of the solid food particles. As you can see here, this is the solid food particle, and this is taken into the cell. In phagocytosis, the folding of the plasma membrane around the solid material and the subsequent formation of an intracellular vesicle or the phagosome happens, and the phagosome fuses with the primary lysosome enzymes to form a secondary lysosome, and in which the food material is digested by the hydrolytic enzymes. Example, phagocytosis occurs in foreign bodies like bacteria, dust, and various colloids are taken. Here, macrophages and WBCs, white blood cells, they perform the function of phagocytosis by invaginating, taking the germs in and killing them. So this is also a way of phagocytosis. The undigested residual material is egested by the process of exocytosis that we will see next. Let us first look at what is receptor mediated endocytosis. How endocytosis takes place, or taken in of a fluid molecule or a food molecule takes place. This is a receptor mediated endocytosis. In this, like pinocytosis, the receptors mediated endocytosis is highly selective process in which cells can take up specific molecules or particles are taken inside. The extracellular fluids that bathes the cells, it contains a large number of chemicals, mostly in low concentration. Now, some of these substances are ligands. What are ligands? That bind to specific protein receptors in plasma membrane. Ligands serve many functions. Example, cholesterol, iron, vitamins are needed for metabolic reactions that sustain life. So we see that hormones are also ligands or ligands that deliver messages to cells to respond in specific ways. We had studied this in class 10th also, that hormones, they are also a kind of enzymes that deliver messages to cells to respond in specific ways. Then we see, we come to exocytosis, children. Exocytosis is a process essentially reverse of endocytosis. In this, the waste material through the vacuole is thrown or egested outside the plasma membrane. In this process, the exudation of secretions of waste materials from the cell takes place through the plasma membrane. The membrane of the cell vesicles fuses with the plasma membrane and releases its contents outside the cell. The process in which the metabolic wastes are thrown out of the cell is known as ephagi or exocytosis, or throwing outside the cell body the waste material. After this, we will study, children, about the passage of molecules through the membranes by passive transport and by active transport, the details of which we will see in the next video. So we will conclude this video here itself. Have a good day, children. Thank you.